You're listening to the Chronicles of Livin podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody on Let's Talk Sunday? I was going to play my little intro music, but I was too slow, so I just decided to let it go. Anyway, I miss you guys. The last couple weeks have been, me conversating with other people. So if you haven't heard the last two episodes, I had a conversation with the Deputy Secretary of Corrections on last week's show, and then a week before that, two of my close friends, we did a show together, which was so much fun. Both of them getting information, and it's just great to have other people to conversate with and get their points across and things of that nature. So I'm back now, just me, spreading some encouragement to you guys. So the topic of today is your complaint is someone's desire. Your complaint is someone's desire. I didn't even do my intro. This is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bull, y'all. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Us extraordinary folk doing the damn thing the best way we can, and that's all we can ask of ourselves. I'm just kind of a little foggy here. I had a migraine, and I had to lay down for a minute, but I'm good. So, yeah, we walk around here because life, the world, everything has changed drastically so fast. With technology and things of that nature, everything is at the tip of our fingers. And I believe that because of that, it, in some ways, is good, and in some ways, it can be bad. Especially the new generation that's born into technology, that never had to wait for anything, such as a microwave. You can just stick your food right in there and it's done in a minute, 2 minutes. They never had to sit at a dinner table and wait for the food to cook in the oven if they don't want to. Some moms out there, they live off of the microwave. Now, if it's you, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not trying to shame you here. I'm just pointing out different facts of how everything has changed and what it causes as it pertains to our mentality. And a lot of times we don't even realize that our mentality about life has changed, and about our work ethic and working for something or waiting for something. Is like, oh my gosh, people don't have the time anymore. The patience is very thin now with a lot of people. So I had, let me see, the definition of complaint pulled up, because y'all know I like to get a definition. So complaint is a statement that a situation is unsatisfactory or unacceptable. So that's what you're feeling when you are complaining. This situation is unsatisfactory or it's just unacceptable in your eyes at that time. And so let me give you some examples. For instance, your job, okay, where you work at currently. That is a complaint for some people. But for a lot of people, they wish they can have your job, okay? Rather it be what you think is barely getting by, or rather is this big corporate position that has now taken so much time out of your life. My thing is this, we all have responsibilities here. Well, not all of us, but I'll say most of us. And some of us have responsibilities and we just choose to deny them. Let's say it that way. But a lot of us adults here have responsibilities, so therefore we have to make money in order to handle our financial, you know, services that we're getting currently. And in order to do that, either we're going to get a job, a career, or we're going to become an entrepreneur and do our own thing, run a small business. So, I had 3 different people that I came across within the last couple of weeks that I had a conversation with about jobs. One was an older lady, and she was telling me how she's so thankful to go to work, and how her husband is, he's pretty well to do, but she go make her money so that she can have money to help other people in need. I thought that was very nice, very sweet, very kind of her, and obviously that is her calling, or one of her callings. Then I had a conversation with a younger lady. She's 20 years old. And she was just saying how she likes overtime, where a lot of people, they run from overtime. They're mad if they have to stay over at their job and spend more time. And, that's rightfully so, especially if you have kids. If you have kids or other responsibilities that's on a time limit, I definitely understand that. But if you have nothing else going on in your life, but you're just mad because you got to stay to make extra money, I don't know. So she was telling me how, she really don't even like taking a day off. She's 20, so she has no kids. And at this point in her life, she feels like she just want to stack her money, And then you have the ones that's like, I got to go to work. I don't feel like it. Oh my gosh, I hate this job. All of this stuff. And so my thing is this. We have choices. We all have choices. Now, a lot of you might be like, oh, ADionne, no, but if I quit my job or if I go to another job and, I got these financial commitments and things of this nature. But my thing is this. If you've been following this podcast, I've had over 30-something jobs. And my thing is, when you want something, you're going to prepare for it. You're going to strategically plan for it, or you're just going to do it. Me, I'm a just do it type of person. If I decide that I'm working somewhere for someone that's not what I agree with, or that's not fulfilling my purpose or the things that I wish to accomplish, I'm confident enough in myself and in all of my skill sets that I can go and get another job. Or either the fact that I have different license that I hold, my insurance, my annuities, my notary, makes it a little bit easier for me because I'm independent in my work. But I'm just saying the times that I went and I worked for other people, I always had the mindset that this is what I want to do. So I'm going for that job. And I'll say 90% of the time, I got the job because within me, I felt like I was capable. I felt like I can add to that company or that occupation. I felt like I had something to add that they could use. That was my mentality going in. I didn't go in with this mentality like, oh, I hope I get this job. And no, I didn't go in with that. When I go for a job, or when I used to go for a job, because I no longer go for jobs. I run my own stuff and have my own thing going on. But when I used to go for different jobs, that was my mentality. And it's not being cocky. It's just being confident in you and who you are and what you have to offer to someone. And it's nothing wrong with that, because for real, I believe that employers want someone that's confident than someone that is not, So if you don't like where you're working at, then move out the way and give that space to someone else that would love to have where you're working at. There's so many people out here that wish they could have a job, that for some reason it's hard for them to find employment, you know? And so when we take things like that for granted, it's like you're complaining, but that's someone else's desire. That's someone else's desire to have your position, no matter, oh, I'm sorry about that, no matter how small it may seem to you. My thing is, do what you can until you can do better. You know, work at where you're at right now, and on the side, sharpen your skill sets so that you can get something better if that's the position you're in right now, and that's the reason why you don't like your job or you don't like the career that you want for. Sharpen another skill set and prepare yourself, and then start sending out your resume or going to apply at different places. And trust me, you're going to eventually land where you would like to be. But if you just want to sit there and complain, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change. And like I said, you're in the way of someone else that could have that same position and love it, you know? So another example. And with just to tighten all of that up, invest more time in yourself. That's what I'm saying with that whole situation. Invest more time into you so that you can truly learn what it is that will make you happy in doing things to make money, you know? We all want to have something that we're happy with doing. But in order to do that, you have to first learn, like I said, this is Chronicles of Livin, and this podcast is about pushing you into your dreams and your visions and your goals. So you have to first learn you and what you're good at, so that you can start sharpening that side of you. If y'all get what I'm saying. So with that being said, think about that. Write out a list. What are the things that you're good at? I'm sorry about this popping from this thing. But write out a list and really write down the things that make you feel good about you when you're doing it. The things that your friends, your family always call you for. What type of help that you wind up offering to people that makes you feel good. That is the skill set that you need to sharpen, and that is the thing that you need to start researching some type of position or job or career, or either some type of entrepreneurship that you can get in to start making money. And when I say entrepreneurship, definitely don't just quit your job, especially if you're not like me. And you need time to sharpen that skill, but just start it on the side. Start small. Start small until the money starts coming in on a consistent basis, and then quit your job, okay? So that's the advice I have for that section. Kids, babies, let's talk about that. A lot of people complain about their kids, their babies. Oh, she's so bad, he's so bad. First of all, they bad because you keep saying they bad. You putting that energy out there in the universe, so therefore they're going to be bad, okay? I don't care what nobody say. Whatever you say out your mouth, and especially the parents that say it in front of their kids. When you constantly say in front of your kids, oh my gosh, she's so bad. Why are you so bad? Or you're talking to another adult, she's so bad. They're going to be bad. One, because they already know you believe it, and you said this about them, so why not? You know what I mean? I get parents talking about, their kids being diagnosed with ADHD, and that's why they're so bad. And, they talk about that in front of the kid. Some talk about it in front of a teacher. I used to have contract work with schools, and teachers would talk about the kids in front of them, and I have to stop them. Like, yo, we could talk about this on the side, I don't know what's wrong with this dog. I'm sorry about the popping, y'all. But, when you're saying that in front of a kid, that becomes a part of their belief of who they are. You are really instilling that belief within them that they are bad from a very young age. And if that's all they hear, then that's how they're going to act. I'm telling y'all, when you start reversing that talk, or you start having a conversation with adults or with someone that's not around the child, and you say, my child is a little challenging and I really would like to learn different ways to help him or her overcome these challenges that they're having. Most of the times that kids are acting out is because of a reason. Sometimes it's due to lack of attention, which is a lot of the times the case. You can think that you're giving your kid attention because you're buying them Jordans, you're buying them the latest iPhone, and you're doing all of this stuff financially, materialistically. But when is the last time that you spent some quality time with this kid? When? When is the last time that you sat down and asked your kid how was their day? See, we get caught up in our work and chasing money to pay these financial commitments that we forget that the little ones, they deserve some time too. They deserve some conversation. They want your ear as well, And you're wondering why they're acting out. I was watching it's a show. Oh, I got turned on to the show called Working Moms. It's funny to me. But I like this show because it's on Netflix, so I don't own a TV. I don't watch TV like that. But when my son comes home, we find a show to binge watch, and we just happened to binge watch this one. So, there was one of the moms, she was married, and she had two kids, and then found out she was pregnant, and her baby was only 10 months. So she was going through. But her daughter was about, I think she was like 12. And she was acting out in school. She was basically being real fresh with the boys, lifting up her dress, showing her panties, all of this stuff. And the mom didn't believe it until she caught her one day. And then she would just talk to her mom any old kind of way. And the mom decided to get this nanny. And the nanny was a young girl, but she was like straight to the point. So she kind of whipped the girl into shape. But I say all that to say, to make it short, what it all boiled down to was the young girl wanted her mother's attention. Her mom was so busy working and worrying about the baby and the pregnancy. She was so stuck on the fact that she didn't want to be pregnant and all of this stuff, that her mindset wasn't on the 12-year-old. It was on everything else but the 12-year-old. The 12-year-old would ask her to, do something with her, and she just didn't have the time. She just didn't have the time. So I say all that to say, guys, you have to pay attention to how much time are you really investing in your kids. And if you have a lot of kids, you got to set at least an hour. If you set an hour a week, and it sounds small, but trust me, it goes a long way. If you have a lot of kids, set an hour a week of time for each kid. This is your hour. This is your hour on this day. This is your hour on this day. It could be more, but I'm just giving you an example to go by. See, what that does to your kid is it lets them know that they're important enough to you for you to give them an hour, a solid hour without their brothers and sisters around, just you and them, for them to be able to talk to you, to be able to love on you, to receive the love from you, to receive the attention and affection from you, all by themselves. That makes them feel special. That can change so much. So, you start small and you gradually grow the time with the kids. And just watch the difference. When your kid, my grandpa used to always ask me when I come in from school, how was your basketball game? How was your volleyball game or your track meet? And it was small, but it was really big. My mom was working, but my grandpa would, be home by the time or whatever. And that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot. That here's this, older individual, and he's pretty much watching his little shows on TV. And he took the time out to ask me, how was my basketball game? It meant a lot to me. So little things go a long way. There are so many people out here that wish they could just have one kid, one baby of their own, biologically. There are plenty of kids out here to adopt, definitely. But there are many people out here that wish that they can conceive on their own. And here you are complaining that your kid is bad instead of finding a solution to how you can change that situation. Taking time out to find a solution, finding out what your kid really likes. My son was diagnosed with ADHD when he was 8 years old. I didn't give him any medicine, and I have nothing against people who give the medicine. If you feel like that's what you need to do, then hey, I'm not in your situation. But for me, I felt like my child is 8 years old. He is not taking medication. I'm going to find the solution to this so-called label, which I never believe anyway, because where was ADHD when it wasn't a ADHD? There have been many generations with boys with a bunch of energy, girls with a bunch of energy. And what was that? They got through it without medication. That's just my take on it. Again, no shade. Hey, everybody got to handle that situation the way they believe they need to. But for me, I felt like, let me figure out what my kid really likes to do. And I asked him, what do you want to do? Do you want to play sports? He wanted to play baseball at the time. He wanted to play basketball. That was up my alley. I wound up being a basketball coach for the kids because they didn't have enough coaches. And it was a fun time. We were able to bond. He was able to run out a lot of energy. And then I put him on the baseball team. Again, he ran out a lot of energy. Therefore, his focus was better. His attention span was better. Now that he's older, he's in college, he does still, battle with the ADD, the attention deficit, but he even works around that. He plans everything out. He's so calm. And I always wonder, if I would have gave him that medication, who would he be? So you have to take the time. You took the time to lay down and had a kid. In some cases, I don't know, it could be other cases out there now. If it happened in a different way that was, a forced situation, and you still have your kid, that means it's still a part of you, and who, God definitely wanted your kid to be here. So love your kid. Love your kid. Give your kids more attention, guys. This world is so busy. Life is so busy. But your complaint is someone else's desire. Someone else out there wish they could have your kid. And I guarantee you, if they had your kid, they would take the time to invest the time in that you're not willing to invest. Trust me when I say this. I had foster kids, so I know what bad kids are. Trust me. But I had to take the time. I chose to get foster kids, and my desire at that time in my life was to make a difference. And because I took on that task, I couldn't let those kids down. And it took a lot of time out of my life. But those kids taught me a whole lot. They taught me a lot about myself, about kids, just about the system. I've learned so much, and I wouldn't change that moment for anything. They made me a better person. They made me gain more patience, just more love in my heart, and more passion for kids that pretty much are out here acting out. And instead of talking about the kids that's acting out and pointing the finger, listening as to why they're acting out and seeing if it's something that I can do to help them, to work on a path of becoming better little human beings so that they won't get caught up in this world and caught up in the system later on down the line. You know, I listened to those kids, and that's what I did for them. It was 3 of them. And I had my own son, my own daughter, grandkids, and all that stuff too that I had to pay attention to. And but I would give them an hour of my time, different days of the week. And I would let them know, listen, when I come in the door, it's me time. So don't knock on my door for a whole hour. We had this whole structure going on. And do you know, they loved it. They love that hour of time because they said they never had that. No one ever gave them that type of attention. Little things like I used to let them pick out their own food when we went grocery shopping, and the oldest one was telling me how he really liked that because it made them feel important. It made them feel like they had a say in shopping, you know, and it made it fun for them. Okay, this is your limit, and you pick out what you want to eat. And and the other ones, I told them, you better not touch their cereal, their whatever they had going on, snacks, and or chicken nugget, whatever they had going on. I would let the other ones know, don't touch each other's stuff because you wouldn't like no one touching yours, so you give the same respect. And we developed a relationship just from them little things. And after a while, what used to be them fighting each other turned into them learning how to respect each other. I gave them slots on a TV time. This is your day. You got this hour to watch a show. The next hour is yours. The next hour is yours. Again, I allowed them to be individuals and allowed them to feel important so that they can feel like they matter. And that's all kids want. That's all they want. Like, we think it's the materialistic things, and some parents give them more things just to stop them from being bad, but all that's doing is adding fuel to the fire, because you're teaching them that when they're bad, you're going to give them more things. Come on now, kids are smart. So that is, and I stayed on both of those topics because those are 2 of the main factors that people complain about. But I just want y'all to know there are solutions to these challenges. There are solutions. Your house, your car. People complain about, oh, my house is falling apart, or this neighborhood, or this car is so old. But people wish they can have your house, live in your neighborhood. Some people are living in a shelter, wish they could have a house to live in. Some people are living in third world countries, third world countries. They don't even have a house to live in. They don't even have shelter to live in. So what we think is our, what we say, junk, is someone else's treasure. You can fix up your house. You don't have to stay in your neighborhood. You can plan a trip out of your neighborhood. You can escape your neighborhood. There are things you can do to make your situation better. I don't care what you say. There are things you can do to make your situation better. You're talking to a person that has moved. You're listening to a person that has moved 51 times physically throughout my life. So when I hear people complaining about their job or their shelter or things like that, it bothers me. It bothers me because I'm a single mom. And yes, it has been challenging. It's been struggles. It's been obstacles that I had to jump over. There's been many a times I sat in a room and I cried to myself like, oh my gosh, I just want this to be better. But guess what? I'm here talking to you. That's life, y'all. Life is not perfect. Life, you go with the flow and you handle the situation as it comes your way. It teaches you to become a stronger person. It teaches you what you're made of. It shows you all of your characters, your flaws, the things that you as an individual need to work on. That's why the issues come. That's why the challenges come. That's why that feeling of complaining comes. When you are complaining about a thing that much, that means that it is time for you to take notes and take some time out and figure out what is it that you need to do to fix this issue. Rather it be detach yourself from someone, rather it be get a new job, rather it be take more time out with your kid and figure out what it is so y'all can work together to have a more peaceful life, rather it be taking time out with your parents, because you got people out here that complain about their parents. I have a couple of loved ones, young loved ones, that don't disrespect their parents, and I used to be the one that just get on them, and I have loved ones that, grew up without parents. I have a girlfriend that grew up without parents and was not able to have kids. So she had a triple whammy. No father. Her mom passed away when we were in high school, and she couldn't have kids, But it didn't make her bitter. She is the most pleasant person that I know. I love this girl to death, And, not to death, to life. I love her to life. And if she's listening, she knows who I'm talking to. I'm not going to say her title because then you'll know who I'm talking about. And I just don't like putting people's business out there like that. But nevertheless, I look at her and I'm like, no mother, no father. Never knew her father. That's the thing. Never knew her father. And couldn't have any kids. And husband, no kids. But the most pleasant people that you want to be around. They didn't complain about it. They just like, okay, this is the situation. So, but this is obviously what's intended for us, And they learn to love each other and they love people and they're pleasant. So you don't have to be bitter because your situation is not working out right. Your job, your kid, your house, your car. Be grateful. Be thankful. When you start being grateful and you start being thankful about the things that you have and the situation that you're in right now, and you take the time to focus on how is it that you can make it better, that's when you'll start seeing the changes. It might be a slow process. It might be little changes here and there. But nevertheless, you will start to see changes if you get serious about you. If you get serious about life and wanting to change your life. If y'all could just be, a light bulb in my conscience to know the things that I have been through, the path, the journey that I have walked. Those complaints that y'all having, y'all would be like, oh, I feel bad about myself. But I choose not to take the bitter road. I choose to share. I choose to share the knowledge and the wisdom that I gained along the way through my trials, my tribulations, my challenges. I choose to share this information. And guess what? It fills me with joy when I do, every time I do. Right now, I don't have like a whole, avalanche of money in my bank account, but I'm happy with me. I'm happy with where I am in life, where I'm going in life. I'm happy with the things, the tools, the talents, the gifts that God has blessed me with that I can give to so many other people. People are listening to the show all across the world. I see the stats and I'm grateful that God has given me this ability to be able to do this in the midst of me working at making my current situation better day by day. And that's what it's all about, y'all. Embrace the good. Focus on the good. And the bad won't even exist anymore. It will fade away. Because you're focusing on the good, rather be the good in a person, the good in a situation in your life, the good in where you're living at, the good at where you're working at. Focus on the good. What are you getting out of that job? What skill are you learning that you didn't have before you got that job? What skill are you learning from people that you are, your clients that you're coming across as you're working in that career? What are the new things that you have learned about yourself? How have you grown since dealing with your kids as a person? What have your kids taught you about you? These are the things. What has your spouse? You complain about your husband, your wife. Some people wish they could have a husband or wife. And I'm not saying sometimes, yeah, you might need to cut your husband or wife. Don't do that. Or let's say your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Let's say that. But everything, I believe, unless it's an abusive relationship, I believe everything is workable. Everything can be changed. But you have to be one of the main people that's willing to change it. Sometimes we get prideful and our ego, and we don't want to take that first step. We don't want to be the one, but yet we want to complain about the relationship. So don't complain if you don't want to be the one to make the changes. Be the source that you want. In other words, give the love that you want to get in return. When you give the love, it's going to come back eventually. Sometimes it might take longer than others. But if you are consistent with spreading love and spreading kindness to people, I guarantee you it will come back. It might not come back right away from the people that you wanted to come back from, but God will sprinkle little strangers along your path that would just give you some type of love or some type of kindness throughout your day. Pay attention to that. That lets you know that God and the universe is listening. They hear your prayers, I know this for a fact because I practice it and I get it. I get love in return. I get kindness in return because I give it. You know what I mean? And that's what this life is all about. So I'm going to wrap it up. I believe I touched on some of the main things that we face throughout life from day to day. And if I didn't touch on something, then you already know how to think about what I'm saying. You have the power to fix anything you want to fix. Rather it be you got to walk away, cut it loose, get better, learn a different skill set, sharpen your skill set. You have all the tools that you need to make your life better. You really do. You just have to believe, and you just have to be willing to put forth the effort, the investment, and the time. And that's it. And be thankful and grateful for every moment of your life. Every moment. There's another story I wish I could touch on, but the time is running out. But I'll touch it real quick. There's this handicapped guy that I pick up from time to time when I go out to Uber, and he's so amazing to me. I mean, when I say handicapped, I have to help him in the car, out the car. He works at Target. He not only does he work, I pick him up. He's at Starbucks. He's over here shopping. This dude is doing everything, but he needs a little help getting in the car. He walks a little bit slower, and his legs and his arms are all pretty much kind of cramped in, turned in. They're not straight, so he can't walk straight. But he didn't let that stop him. He never complains when I pick him up. I picked him up 3 times, and it's funny because I don't do it for a while, and I always get this guy from time to time. And he inspires me. He really does, because it's like you got people out here that got everything working, very healthy, and they complain about everything. And this dude, the conversation is always pleasant. He's always happy, and I'm sure he has his days, but he is making his life matter. He is doing what he has to do. He is enjoying life the way he can. And that's all I'm telling you guys. Enjoy life the best way you can, because you only get one in this time-space reality. So you got to decide how you want to spend it. Do you want to be miserable? Do you want to be a complainer? Or do you want to appreciate your life, what you have? Do you want to appreciate your loved ones? Do you want to appreciate the things that you are capable of doing? And do you want to work towards making changes to make life flow the way you want it to flow? That's it, guys. That's it. That's all. I mean, do the damn thing the best way you can. That's it. From day to day. And watch. You will feel more fulfilled, and you will start to love your life, your job, your kid, whatever, your spouse, whatever your relationship. You'll start to love yourself. Let's start there. Love yourself first. Because a lot of complaints come because we don't love ourselves and we're not thankful for who we are and who God made us to be. So love yourself first and start learning to love your life, things in your life, people in your life, and things will get better. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. So until next Sunday, and thank you guys for purchasing the books, Visionary Dreamer, the 90-Day Journal, and the Transform Your Life, Discover Your Purpose, the workbook, okay, on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon.com by April ADionne Williams. Search it today. Thank you guys. Continue to give me your feedback. Thank you for all of your support, for always listening, or either when you drop out for a while, how you come back. I really love you guys, and I do this for you. I do it for myself too, to remind me of things, but I do this for you, and I love it. So continue to come back. And I know I didn't put the YouTube video up last week because I really wanted to put more into it. So this week, look out for it. I'm going to be editing the interview that I had with Miss Shirley Morris-Mill, the Executive Deputy Secretary of Corrections. So look out for that. It's going to be a great video. Okay, guys? I love you guys. Tune into the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit that notification because I'm going to be putting more videos out soon. Love you guys. This is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, the world, some real bullshit. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Us extraordinary folk here doing the damn thing the best way we can. I love you guys. And until next Sunday, peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Livin, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chroniclesoflivin.com. Until next time, this is ADionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.